G'day friends, just wanted to make a quick video just in relation to some of the guys out there that perhaps even used to be Christians but now are beginning to question the Bible and the whole idea of Jesus Christ and the God of the Bible and just the whole story altogether. Moses, Abraham. So this video is directed at these guys, which are good guys. I mean, they're not, you know, deliberately trying to mislead anybody. They are sincere in their beliefs. They do believe that somehow this Bible is a fraudulent document, and that it is designed to lead people away from, you know, the truth and into danger, you know, as a control mechanism, so that whoever wrote it can control people. And it's just so ironic because the opposite is actually true. It was written originally to document the mode and the operation of a society that lives without the system, a free society. And if you look at what Abraham and Moses and Jesus did, that's exactly what they did. They led their people out of the New World orders of their day, Rome and Egypt and Babylon. And they created new free societies, and they used the same principles, which is, if you look at the big picture, what the Bible is all about. It's about government and law, and when I say law, I mean natural law. And it is about a free society. So, you know, where some of these guys go wrong is that they, number one, they look at modern Christianity, including Christian Zionism and virtually all forms of so-called Christianity since the Catholic Church, the Orthodox Church, and a lot of these obviously Freemasonic creations, such as the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Mormons, etc., Seventh-day Adventists. Okay, they look at these denominations and several thousand other denominations, and they draw their conclusions from the error of these denominations, and which I don't necessarily blame them for, because they are nonsense. And there is a church that was established by Jesus Christ, but it wasn't the Catholic Church. Even by the time of the Catholic Church, there were that was the first major organisation that was an imposter to the true church. So from there on, it all went downhill from there. But the remnants of the true church lived on, and all the church was an organisation of ministers that cared for the needy of the society. Okay, you saw the disciples and the apostles. What they would do, they would receive charity from the people, and they would redistribute that charity to the needy of their society. And what that enabled the people to do was to walk out of the New World Order system of their day that forced a tax to pay for the needy of society. So there's basically two options to look after the needy of your society. One is to force a tax, which requires a social contract, and the other is by faith, hope and charity, which keeps the liberty of the people intact. It preserves the liberty. It maintains the liberty because it operates by the perfect law of liberty. If it doesn't give people liberty, well, it's against the law. And that's what Abraham said, that's what Moses said, that's what Jesus said. But see, what these people also do is they look at these translations of what's called the Bible, and they don't realise perhaps that, you know, these scriptures have been twisted. Okay, even by the time of the Septuagint, which was 300 years before Christ, you know, that was transcribed by translators and commissioned by the Pharaoh Ptolemy. Okay, the Pharaoh of the New World Order of the day. So do you think he had something to hide? So what they do is they translate out of the original texts into, say, the Greek in this case, and they twist things and they add things and they take things away. But they have to keep a certain body of the text together so as to not attract suspicion, and that's the modus operandi of the sophists. Okay, in this sense of sophistry. So even by the time of the Septuagint, you had these Pharisees, which came up, you know, just thereafter, who actually believed that the Creator of the universe required men to build altars that were benches made out of stone, and that the Creator of the universe required them to burn animals with fire upon these altars, these benches. He believes that they were required to burn these animals so he could smell the smoke and be pleased, and that they had to, you know, do these literal burnings of animals and things like this. See, so, but see, there were other groups like the Essenes of the day, in Jesus' day, that did not believe this was supposed to happen. They read the same scriptures and they got something totally different out of it, because what they were talking about there in the Old Testament was sacrificing to an altar which was made out of living stone, which was a man that formed a building, an organisation with other men that could supply the needs of the society, so that they didn't have to go to a ruler to receive a benefit if they needed it, because they knew that those benefits came by force, and that was against the natural law of the perfect law of liberty. Because when you receive a benefit that comes by force, you are taking away the liberty of your fellow man, of your neighbour, because the government's forcing them to pay to give something to you. You see, so they knew that was not right. Okay, so Abraham knew it, Moses knew it, Jesus knew it. Okay, so if you look at it, so they're looking at these old scriptures and there's all these twisted passages and verses, and they say, oh, look at that one over there, you know, sounds like a Jew wrote that one, and look at that one over there, sounds like a Jew wrote that one. And you know what? They probably did. There are twists and turns in the Bible. And even, see, the Septuagint was translated, I believe, by 70 translators, and so that's how you get the word Septuagint, from 70. And see, what happened later on too with the New Testament is that the King James, translated the Bible also, using, I believe, once again, 70 translators. And there's an old saying that translators are traitors, because what they can do, especially in those days, you twist a certain verse, you add a few terms, you take a couple of verses away, whatever, just enough to change the course of thinking and to hide a concept or an idea from the mind, because when you take away words, you take away the symbols of ideas, and once those ideas have been removed, well, then they vanish from the minds of men, and in that way they're hidden. So what these translators in the cases of the kings have done, they have removed concepts away from the text and therefore the minds of men that are keys to the kingdom of God, which is a free society under God, free souls under God, where you're not forced to do anything because you're in God's jurisdiction. And see, that's what these people don't, you know, they want to nitpick all these little verses and, oh, this donkey did this and this did that and whatever, you know, and these guys went and killed all these people, and, oh, see, it's not true. And, you know, it's like, I sort of get it, but it's just a little bit of an immature outlook, and I say that in the nicest possible way. I just mean it hasn't truly been considered, because the true intent of the Bible has not been revealed to them, which I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to reveal to them what the Bible is actually all about in the larger scope of things. It is the handbook for a free society, and that's why, you know, that's why the powers that be don't like it. That's why they want to change it. That's why they want to take all the anti-you-know-what verses out, and they want to continue to, you know, use sophistry to hide the ideas of the Bible. Can you see?